Yeah. So basically, there's a mixture of well-performing people and low-performing people, whether it's a skill set or a drive. And it sounds like your team's kind of scattered. It's not like a well-oiled machine. So I mean, without knowing all the nuances or even the industry you're in, it's so important to set standards and also to do the push pull. So really encouraging people to lift up and step up and enabling them. But then also, if they don't, you know, they need to be very well aware that they get axed. Because you can't just have those dead weights.
How do you give feedback when they're not meeting?
So it's the question is how do you give feedback when they're not meeting the standard? So it's so important to take any kind of emotion or arbitrary feelings how they're doing. That should never be that word should never be in there. Like I don't feel you're doing well. I don't think you're doing well. Like you set those very simple KPIs or key performance indicators. So you take each person, you assign 2 to 3, no more than 3, and if they're not hitting those KPIs, they're not performing, and it doesn't matter what you think or feel about them. If they're not performing, that's it, and that should be a quantifiable number, whether sales or leads or whatever they're doing. And then that takes all the emotional motivation thing out of it. And if they can't step up, they're not the right person for the job. And if they do step up, they should be publicly applauded for that. And if they exceed that, they should be incentivized accordingly to going above and beyond. And that'll just making all those KPIs public will get the whole team in check, and I think that'll fix your problem.
I got like 5 thoughts on this, but I think which to go with first. Well, my one friend earlier I mentioned earlier, has got more than 10,000 employees in their business. And they just, in every department, they put monitors everywhere. There's monitors everywhere. And they put, they rank people according to their performance. And it's just public knowledge that, oh, so-and-so, achieved X metric, or that, the sales department would have a certain metric, obviously, or a certain type of metrics. Other departments would have other type of metrics, obviously. So that's adjusted, by the standards or metrics that department is trying to achieve. But it's all publicly listed, that everyone in their area sees that all day long. And some people just opt out because of that. I think if somebody tours that environment, I've had this chat with him, and he just smiled. He didn't actually answer my comment or respond. He just smiled, but I think that smile was telling. And I said, there must be a subset of people that they go through and tour this office, and they see that, and they just self-select out because they don't want to be held to that standard. I would think that they would just self-select out. And again, he never commented about it, but I think the smile he gave me was a pretty clear answer. But another thought of this is something I do. I think I do extraordinarily well, really, and you know how humble I am. So, of the many things I do extraordinarily well, I think this is one of them. Is I really try to set expectations with people ahead of time, and I don't try to say it in a nice way necessarily. I just like to say the meanest, nastiest thing up front. I kind of did that today, and I don't mean it in a mean way. I mean it in a very sincere way. But if there's any tension between someone and myself, I just like to get that out of the way just right up front. I just like to set expectations very clearly up front of, well, this is what we're up to, and this is why you might care. And if you don't care, I'll understand and go do something else. But the more you can do that up front, then things are just easy after that. And there's that weird tension that some people have that they don't like having conflict. Thank the heavens, thank any God that might be, that I wasn't afflicted with this disease. That a lot of people they just do anything to avoid conflict. And inside they have anger and depression and tremendous anxiety, that comes from that by trying to avoid just setting clear expectations to begin with. So anybody who knew that, even with clients, even people on this webinar right now that are, many people are putting their phone numbers in here, and one of my guys told me there's like 18 signups from people that they've accepted mostly into the mentoring program. I don't want the wrong person to come. I don't want the wrong person. I don't want to. If there's somebody on here that's a piss swimmer, that's dedicated to live their life as a fucking piss swimmer, then that's just going to be a management problem. And I don't want to spend any personal time with someone who's not even serious about their own life, you know? I don't want the money. It's a bigger liability. Like putting that few $1,000s on the balance sheet and calling that an asset. It's not an asset if it comes with the liability that you have to deal with some clown dick that doesn't even like himself, doesn't even respect himself, isn't even serious about their own goals. I only want to work with people that are very serious. So even in a financial context, even if they're paying me, you know, decent money, well, what am I going to buy with an extra fucking few grand? A couple pairs of shoes? I mean, after the expenses, the overhead costs, and the other, you know, variable expenses that come with it, like, I'm going to buy some shoes. What am I going to buy? I can't buy a bracelet. I can't buy a watch. Or a few shirts. A couple nice meals. I mean, I have a strategic caloric store right here. I'm not worried about my next couple nice meals. So, yeah, I don't want the wrong money. You don't want the wrong person in your life. Wouldn't you pay good money for some people to just be out of your life? That's what a divorce is. A guy's like, you know, what's what a divorce is? A guy's like, you know, I'm so fed up with this woman, I would pay a substantial part of my net worth to just be rid of her. That's what a divorce is, isn't it? So, you know, I think if you could do that on the front end, you know, especially in a smaller business like you have or like I have, I try to set expectations very, very clearly. I try to be, I mean, not overtly disagreeable, but I just like to be my grumpiest self on the front end, you know, my most specific and precise and nitpicky self, that I want it like this, I want it like this, I want it like that. I never want to see this, or that. And if that's a problem, then, you know, we should end this call and no worries, you know. No need for us to go any further. So, you know, and I think that worked really good for you because you don't have that you don't have that aversion to conflict.
Not with enemies. With friends, I think I do have it a little bit.
I'll help you. I know a guy that'll help you. I know a guy that can help you with that for, you know, it's happy to chat about it tonight. Happy to chat about it. You know, and sincerely, you know, bring it up if I don't, bring it up and we'll have a little chat about it this evening. Totally happy to help with that. I know just the guy for you to talk to.